What it do, homies? It's your boy Dave, and I'm back today. We back with some more Suicide Boys. This time we're checking out the song Escape from Babylon. Let's go ahead, shut up, and turn it up.
Future you come true, and I know you're trying to be everything I need. You're the sweetest thing, treated me like everything.
It's an interesting vocal sample.
Finding love in all the wrong places, shuffling through pretty faces. I'm glad you had a nice time, but right now I need my space, bitch. I don't wanna waste your time, and I definitely don't wanna waste mine. If I don't feel the vibe, I'll curb you like the stop sign.
Okay. All right. I cannot relate to most of this, you know, with like shuffling through prefaces and everything. So I'm a married man and I've been with my wife for 13 years and everything. But I do know that this is pretty much like somewhat of what the dating scene kind of looks like. You know what I mean? A whole bunch of people till you find one, and then he goes on to further say, nice time, but right now, I mean, so basically, I want you here, but, you know, only for a small amount of time, right? Like I ain't looking for a relationship or whatnot.
But right now I need my space, bitch. I don't wanna waste your time, and I definitely don't wanna waste mine. If I don't feel the vibe, I'll curb you like the stop sign. Yeah. I've been going through some shit. I guess I'm getting used to it. I've been going through some shit. I guess I'm getting used to it. I used to doubt my usefulness. She a bad bitch, and her ass big. She gon' turn me to a sad sip, another habit. Goddamn, I'm such an addict. I always gotta have it. One more time for validation. Watch me turn into a rabbit.
It's interesting. One more time for validation. Let me turn to habit. So check this out. So I was sitting here pondering on the title Escape from Babylon, right? And if I'm remembering correctly, Babylon was two empires, right? It was kind of like a what did it say? An opposition, you know, it was like God's eternal city. It was like something like that. But anyways, I know it has something to do with religion, like the existence and the purpose of these two empires existing and everything. I do know that sometimes women, not all the time, but women are kind of like referred to as, you know, like not God, but goddesses or whatnot. You know what I mean? Or if I take that idea, right, because I'm sitting here thinking of Ariana Grande's song "God Is a Woman." If I sit here and I think anything, let's just take a step into like religion here real quick. Generally, anything that you spend the most time on, right, generally becomes, you know, like that's what your idol is, right? That's what you praise, that's what you worship, whatever has the most of your time. And given the lyrics that I'm hearing right here, how he's talking about like turning into an addict and everything, he's spending most of his time, you know, going after women, right? So you kind of look at that as like the promised land, right? Because he spent all his time. He said he's turned into an addict. This is something that he wants to do. He can't stop doing it. He see another way. Oh, I got to smash that. Oh, I got to smash that. Oh, I got to smash that. And he turned to a rabbit. He said, watch him turn into a rabbit. We already know what that means, right? Always having sex a lot, very, very quickly.
I always gotta have it. One more time for validation.
And this one right here says one more time for validation, right? So, you know, growing up, had a whole lot of homies that are all like, yo, man, you know, it's like, oh, you ain't smashed nobody in like a long time and everything. But what you talking about, man? I smashed this chick right here. You see how fine she is and everything. That validation, right? To let other people know that, yo, you a real one. You out here smashing chicks and everything. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And when I sit here and I think about Babylon, when it comes to like validation and everything, and the purpose of why those two empires were built, which I believe was to kind of contradict, it was something to do. It was like trying to contradict something or whatnot, the reason why it was built. And then they built it, and then, you know, people saw that and it granted them validation. And I'm sitting here thinking, what was the purpose of those two being built? Now, I don't have all the historic facts, but I feel like I'm teetering on the edge, trying to make that connection as to why they titled this Escape from Babylon. So I think that Babylon was looked at as like the promised land, right? So women, the promised land, but I need to escape. But I have all these type of things and all these type of lust and desires and everything that keeps bringing me back, right? And these lusts and desires, as I start to satisfy them, right, I can come back and say, yo, look what I did, look what I got, look who I smashed.
You watch me turn into a rabbit. What do you know? It's your way to ride and let her hold that bitch before. She was tripping, had to let her go. Any minute, mighty mo. Now her finger froze. I was so when I showed my flaws, and she loved me more. Used to fucking hate her, and she stated that she hate me too.
That's interesting, right? What he said. Oh no, not this one.
And she loved me more. Used
to hate her, and she hated. No, not this one.
Her finger froze. I was so when I showed my flaws.
I was sold when I showed my flaws, and then she loved me more. I don't know how often like that happens, right? When you show your flaws. I told my now wife when we first met her that I was gonna make her my wife, and I feel like, you know, some people could look at it as flaws, like, oh no, I ain't trying to do all that. That's super creepy and everything. But in my case, it actually worked out. I guess some people could look at that as flaws, right? Who moves that quickly?
And she loved me more. Used to fucking hate her, and she stated that she hate me too. Now it's babe, I love you, and she's saying, boy, I love you too. Still I deal with trauma from the sex in my past. Only bitch I know psycho enough to land me in rehab. I ran 40-yard dash with a stash in my pants. Now looking back, she never had a chance.
So you kind of look at that where you kind of, you know, there's a whole lot of people that's kind of like either afraid of their emotions or they're afraid of kind of getting hurt depending on what type of damage and everything they suffered in their past, right? They're afraid of catching feelings because obviously if the breakup happens, right, that's heartache, right? You become less trusting. When you become less trusting, that means the odds of you getting into another long-term relationships go down and down and down, littler, you know, not littler, but less and less and less. So when he says looking back, she never had a chance because probably felt like he wasn't really necessarily thinking straight. So when those emotions started rushing in, you started thinking about your ex and all the type of things that started off with. You're like, oh, this is starting off the same way. I don't think I'm gonna go this route, even though all the things that you're exhibiting, right, matches, well, not necessarily matches, you're able to accept my flaws and everything. I don't feel like I want to deal with that right now. So I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna run away from it and everything. Keep him whenever I got in my pocket because I know that's gonna help me right there. That's what I use to help me to get through what I need. I don't need you, so I'm gonna run away. Then you have a little bit more clarity in your head now that all those emotions done rushed out of you. You look back, you never had a chance, right? So therefore, you just keep swiping and swiping and swiping, smashing what you can, and then just dipping out and everything. That's just what you're conditioned to now, based off the type of issues that you had in the past with your exes.
Dash with a stash in my pants. Now looking back, she never had a chance. Moving on to better things, bigger dreams, like permanent pussy. You know my girl has a mini.
Truly had thoughts in my mind. Future you'll come true, and I know you're trying to be everything I need. You're the sweetest thing, treated me like everything, and it's everything we need. It's everything we need. Making us to who we're supposed to be. And I'm just trying to go where it's telling me where I'm supposed to be.
Moving on to better things, bigger dreams, like permanent pussy. You know my girl has a mini.
Bigger and better things, right? So now you've done an exchange, like an actual relationship, to just messing around with a whole bunch of women as bigger and better things because, you know, in your mind overall, it's going to have the least amount of damage. But, you know, that type of game is a long-term game. You know what I mean? So he said something else here. Hold on.
Moving on to better things, bigger dreams, like permanent.
I don't think I'm going to find it. I always have thoughts in my head and everything. But I never get them out.
Only bitch I know psycho enough to land me in rehab. I ran 40-yard
I'm not gonna run this.
Stash in my pants. Now looking back, she never had a chance. Moving on to better things, bigger dreams, like
yeah. So, you know, I actually exited this, like I said, I exited this game extremely early when I was like 18 and everything. I already kind of seen what chasing after women could land me in. You know, I had quite a few girlfriends in my, quite a lot of girlfriends coming up and everything. And I remember when I had the last straw, you know, when I broke up with one, and I was just like, bro, all right, I'm done with this. Like, I'm just gonna chill, and whatever girl come to me, I'm gonna let them know what my intentions are before even things even get there. And she gonna stay or she gonna leave, and it just happened to be the next woman and everything. So I can relate to this, right? I don't live this type of life, but I can relate to it because I used to, right? Now let's take a look at what's going on in the background, right? While they're showing a bunch of chicks just with guns and shooting, and they're in bikinis, right? That's very interesting. First, you got to think about women obviously are in the military and everything, like they can enlist and everything, but there's just something off-putting about this. I think what's off-putting about this is that, one, they're not in any type of military wear, right? I mean, I know this thing is old, but it almost feels like it's a fake video, you know, like it's a prelude to, I don't know, like a porno or something like that. And this could very much be real. But the interesting thing is that obviously they have the guns, almost as if they have the power. And after they're going through this training can kind of look at, you know, kind of like the conditioning, right? As women grow up, I like to think that they are conditioned to always be wanted, right? If you kind of take a look at the odds of a man, right, you know, having intercourse before a woman does, more than likely a woman's probably going to have the intercourse, you know, quicker, or going to be more, right? Because I feel as though women get offered sex a lot more than men do, right? So I kind of look at this as like the conditioning, right? It's what they're doing, their conditioning. And then once they get up to that certain point or whatnot, then they have all the ammo. Then they know that these dudes are coming after them, right? And they just line them up and shoot them. They got not necessarily the act of shooting, but the fact that they have the power. Like, look at this. Like, most of the video is just them shooting, right? Them having the power, them demonstrating the power. These are all the lines. I'm just shooting them down, because they know you're gonna come and everything. And if you do, they got the gun. Bah, 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 bah. You want to come side with me, right? Because I got all the power. I already got all the guns. That's what I'm thinking right now. It's always interesting the type of stuff that they choose. And this video probably ain't got nothing to do with what the topic is, but I like to think of that as the relation, right? That it's a habit, and it's almost like the women has all the power, right? And you're just simply an addict that's just tripping over yourself to get to them. Women have the power. You're at gunpoint. Anyways, thank you guys for listening to my rambling. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and subscribe. Dave's out.